Hello everyone. My name is Elise. Welcome to my channel. I hope you're all doing so good today. We're going over my TBR for the month of December. It is the last reading month of the year. I'm trying to fit a lot of stuff in the last month. So let's hope I can get to all of these that I'm actually putting on my TBR. And please let me know what you're going to be reading in the month of December. Are you also trying to fit stuff in, or are you kind of taking it easy breezy, end of the year, just chill reading? I'm very curious to know. And for myself, there's a mixture of seasonal reading in here. So kind of wintry, December-y things, and then also things that I need to get done. I always read partially seasonally in December. It's not like October where my entire TBR is kind of seasonal reading. It's just a portion of it. And that works for me. That's a good balance for me to live in. So let's go ahead and, like usual, get into the books in the order of prioritization. So the ones that I need to prioritize first for whatever reason, and then the maybes after that. First thing that I need to read is The Secret Lives of Church Ladies. This is by Deesha Philyaw, and it's published by West Virginia University Press. This is a short story collection that is all across BookTube. So many people love this, and I've been wanting to pick it up for so long. It's one of my 5-star predictions, and I'm finally going to be getting to it. I will be doing this as a buddy read, which is partly why I'm prioritizing it so highly with my friend, and I'm really excited not only to read this, but to buddy read it. It's a short story collection that follows kind of Black women and girls who are trying to discover their sexuality in different ways and kind of pursue their desires and grapple with this idea of what it means to be good. Very intrigued. I think I'm going to love it. I mean, it's a 5-star prediction after all. So really excited to finally be able to get to this one. Next up, we have the book from my book haul revisit that I need to put on my TBR, and that is Split Tooth by Tanya Tagaq, and this is published by Penguin. And this follows a young female narrator who is growing up in the 1970s. By all intents and purposes, she lives a very normal life, but then she becomes pregnant and she has to navigate all of the consequences of that. I also know that she is an Indigenous author, and I want to make sure I get to a little bit more Indigenous reading this year because I haven't done very much. So really excited to get to this. I do believe that this is told in vignettes and some experimental prose. Let me show you. So for example, this is what one of the sections looks like. And then there are other sections that look more like typical prose, but they're a little vignette-y, like they're segmented in some way. So excited to get to this and see what it's all about. I've heard that it's really good, and yeah, it's been on my shelves for a while, so we shall get to it. Next up on the things that I pretty much definitely need to read is not this whole thing, but once a year, my husband gets to pick a book to put on my TBR. This year, he wanted me to read The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, which I have never read. I've never read any of the Narnia books before, and I wanted to save it until the month of December because I don't know why I'm associating that as like a Christmassy read, because I haven't read it. I don't know if that's real, but I remember from the movie it's like very wintry, so I wanted to read it in the month of December, so that's when I will be reading it. This is his collection of all of the books bound together, and I want to say this is illustrated. Let me take a look. Yeah, this is illustrated, so really excited to read this. I, again, never read it before, so I'm excited to finally get to it and see what it's all about. And this should be a quicker read because it's a children's story, so I think I'll be able to get through it pretty quickly, and excited to have the physical edition with some illustrations as well. So that is another must read. And then the last on the must reads is kind of a fake out because I need to read my last Picante Beef Baby of the year, which is a book over 500 pages in order to hit my goal. So right now, the book I'm thinking of reading for that in the month of December is Collected Works by Lydia Sandgren. I have ordered it. It is not here yet. I had to order it through my local indie because they didn't have it physically in stock. So it will be coming to me. And this one sounds very intriguing. It has sort of a mystery-like element. A few people at this point have commented and told me how much they enjoy it. The first person to put it on my radar was Joe, and I think at the point that they told me about it, I think I said this last time, it was their favorite book of the year. So I'm really excited to get to it. I love mystery elements in novels, and it sounds very intriguing, which is good because it needs to keep my attention for over 500 pages. So that's the one I'm thinking of reading. I've ordered it, so it should be the one that I'm getting to. I only have a couple others on my shelves, so I could pull a last minute Audible, but I need to read a book over 500 pages in the month of December, and I'm thinking it's going to be collected works. So that is there as well. And now we're getting into the maybes. Firstly, between all of those books so far, I don't have a translated book on my TBR yet. So I had to put one on here because I have a goal that I read at least one translated book a month. And for this month, I've put Mona on my TBR. This is, okay, I can never say her name correctly. I'm gonna go with Polo Oloixarac, and it's translated by Adam Morris. I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong. If you know how to pronounce it, please tell me. And it's translated from the Spanish. It's published by Picador, so FSG. And partly why I'm picking this is because it is so slim, and because I have so many other things that I have to read, one of them being a huge book, I needed to get something slim on here. This follows a woman who's a Peruvian writer, and she is kind of in a downward spiral. She's struggling with substance abuse issues, and she gets nominated for this literary prize. I think at the book it's like the most important literary prize in Europe. And she realizes that she is the only woman who has been nominated for it. The rest are all men. And so I think it's also a kind of scathing review of literary awards and the publishing industry and how they can promote male authors. And she's really coming to grips with her own identity and maybe even her own privilege in a way. So very intrigued to see what this is about. And this was recommended to me when I was in Iowa by a bookseller there, and they convinced me to pick it up. So want to get to it. And then we have another romance, and that is A Merry Little Meet Cute. This is by Julia Murphy and Sierra Simon, and it's published by Avon. I really wanted to read this last year, but it was out in hardcover last year, so I was waiting for the paperback to come out, and now I have my hot little hands on it. And I'm excited to read another romance. I have been on a little bit of a romance kick lately. I realized in October when I read a romance book that I hadn't read any the entire year. And it was so fun and enjoyable to get lost in one. And I've been reading a few since then. So I want to end off the year reading another seasonal one. And I think I will really like this based on what everyone has said about it. So this follows a female narrator who has a successful career as a plus-size adult film star. She gets cast in a new Christmas movie with an ex-boy band member who is trying to kind of get his career back on track. I think that's a fascinating premise. I love a sex positive romance novel. I think all romance novels should be sex positive. And I also like the representation of being in a larger body size. So I think I really will love this. I'm really looking forward to it, and I've heard it's very funny. So that is A Merry Little Meet Cute. There is a sequel to this. It's called A Holly Jolly Ever After. And if I really like this one, that might be one that I pick up for next December. So that is that one. And then lastly, we have The Hunting Party by Lucy Foley. This is published by William Morrow, and this was sent to me by my mother-in-law pretty recently, and the cover is so wintry. I was like, oh, this will be a great pick in December, and I'm not reading anything else like it in December, so I think that will be fun. And I want to stay up on the books that my mother-in-law is sending me because I realized how many she sends me that I haven't read yet. So I want to stay up to date with them. And I think this will be perfect for winter time. I have read from Lucy Foley before. I read The Guest List, and I did enjoy that. I really enjoyed the plot of that. Some of the tropes I didn't love, but I still enjoyed it overall. This one takes place during a New Year's reunion in the remote Scottish wilderness. And the little tagline on the back says, "The beautiful one, the golden couple, the volatile one, the new parents, the quiet one, the city boy, the outsider. One of these friends is a murderer, and one won't make it out alive." Such a good blurb. Very excited. I'm ready for all the thrills and chills that this has for me. And yeah, I think it will be a good mix up and change of pace with everything else that I'm reading at the end of the year. So that is the last thing that I'm officially putting on my TBR. Please let me know if you have read any of these books or if you're interested in any of them. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye.